If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Steph Curry just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. Jonathan Kuminga just dropped a bombshell that has left Warriors fans stunned, insiders scrambling for answers, and the entire NBA media machine scrambling to interpret every single word. The young star, the explosive forward many have dubbed the future of Golden State, has finally broken his silence. And what he just said about his future with the Warriors might just change everything. Let's be clear, this wasn't just a vague comment or a typical post-game soundbite. This was a deliberate, confident, and very bold announcement from a player who's clearly reached a breaking point or perhaps a crossroads. Because after months of swirling rumors, inconsistent minutes, internal tension, and trade speculation, Kuminga has decided to speak for himself. And what he said wasn't just for the fans. It was for the front office. For Steve Kerr. For Steph. For every GM in the league watching from the sidelines. Kuminga said he wants more. Not just more minutes. Not just more touches. He wants clarity. He wants opportunity. And more importantly, he wants to be valued. And when a player this young, this gifted, and this determined makes a public statement like that, it sends shockwaves. You don't hear this kind of thing unless something behind the scenes has been brewing for a while. And trust me, it has. Now let's rewind for context. Kuminga was drafted 7th overall by the Warriors back in 2021 as part of the team's big picture plan to bridge the gap between the Steph/Klay/Draymond era and the next generation. He came in with sky-high expectations, elite athleticism, defensive potential, and flashes of offensive brilliance. And in year one, he showed flashes. Dunking over veterans. Making hustle plays. Giving the Warriors a spark off the bench. But as time passed, questions started to rise. Could he earn Steve Kerr's trust? Could he develop into a consistent two-way contributor? Or was he just another raw talent in a win-now system with no time to wait? Fast forward to this past season, and the tension became more visible. There were games where Kuminga looked like the best athlete on the floor. And then there were stretches where he sat for entire fourth quarters. Fans noticed. Analysts noticed. And most importantly, Kuminga noticed. And that's what brings us to this moment. In a recent media interview during an off-season training event, Kuminga was asked point-blank, "Do you see your long-term future with the Warriors?" What followed was a calm but confident statement that immediately set off alarms around the league. He didn't dodge the question. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said this: "I love playing in Golden State. I've learned a lot here. But at the end of the day, I want to be somewhere I can grow. Somewhere I can be more than a role player. I know what I bring to the game, and I'm ready for more." Let that sink in. That is a bold statement, especially when your team still includes Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and potentially another title run if the roster shakes out right. That's not just about playing time. That's about role. That's about identity. And possibly that's about whether Kuminga sees himself as part of the Warriors' future, or whether he's starting to consider life elsewhere. And here's where it gets even more interesting. League sources have already confirmed that multiple teams have inquired about Kuminga's availability over the past few months. The Warriors have mostly shut down those talks. But now, after Kuminga's announcement, don't be surprised if the phones start ringing again and louder. The Warriors are in a complicated position. They know Kuminga has star potential. But they also know their window with Steph Curry is closing. They can't afford to sit around and wait for 5 years of development. They need results now. And if Kuminga feels like his development is being stifled in this system, you have to wonder how long until a trade becomes the best outcome for both sides. To be clear, Kuminga hasn't requested a trade. He hasn't bashed the organization. In fact, he's spoken highly of his time in Golden State. But this wasn't a passive comment. This was a calculated message. And trust me, the Warriors front office heard it loud and clear. So where does that leave us? Well, first of all, we have to consider Steve Kerr's role in all of this. Kerr is one of the most respected coaches in the league. But he's also known for favoring veterans, especially in high-pressure moments. Just look at how many times Kuminga, Moody, and other young players have watched playoff games from the bench while older, more experienced players sometimes struggling get extended runs. It's not a coincidence. And to some degree, that's understandable. The Warriors aren't rebuilding. They're trying to win. But at what cost? Kuminga is just 21 years old. He's already shown signs of being a potential two-way star. He can guard multiple positions, he can finish at the rim with authority, and he's improved his shot selection and basketball IQ over time. Yet he's still being treated like a developmental project instead of a core piece. And that's exactly what this announcement challenges. It's a turning point not just for Kuminga, but for the entire Warriors organization. Do they lean into the youth movement and trust players like Kuminga and Podziemski to take on bigger roles next season? Or do they package Kuminga in a blockbuster deal to bring in another proven star to support Curry and Draymond for one last title push? There are no easy answers. But one thing is clear, Kuminga has changed the conversation. And fans are reacting. Social media is lighting up with takes from every direction. Some fans are siding with Kuminga, saying it's about time the Warriors stopped holding him back. Others believe he still hasn't earned the right to demand more, that consistency, defense, and effort are all still works in progress. But everyone agrees on one thing: something has to change. Even Steph Curry has weighed in indirectly. At a recent charity event, he was asked about the young guys and how they fit into the team's plans. His answer was diplomatic, but telling: "We believe in all our guys. But everyone has to earn their moment." That's classic Steph, supportive, but also honest. He knows the window is closing. And if Kuminga's not ready to step up now, the team might not be able to wait much longer. Meanwhile, Kuminga continues to work. Videos have surfaced from off-season training sessions showing him hitting threes, tightening his handle, and playing with a level of intensity we haven't seen before. It's clear he's not just talking, he's preparing. He's betting on himself. And honestly, he should. Because whether it's with the Warriors or somewhere else, Jonathan Kuminga will be a star in this league. The only question is, where will that journey take him next? If you're as shocked as we are by this bold statement, now is the time to smash that like button. Subscribe for non-stop Warriors news, trade updates, and inside stories you won't find anywhere else. Drop a comment below. Do you think Kuminga deserves a bigger role? Or is it time for Golden State to move on and prioritize winning now?